Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rival Bros. I forgot the name of the show for a second. Rival Bros on EPL Across the Pond over here. We are back in action. It's been so long, I forgot the name of the show. We were away for an international break. That's why you see on the cover, we're waving the Turkish flags over here. At least we had like an enjoyable international break, probably. I do want to talk about the international break as well, but I am your host, as always, over here, Timucin, representing Liverpool, the black sheep of the family. Edip is here, representing United. I don't know what you're pointing to. Normally, you would wear the jersey and point to the badge, but you just pointed to your man boobs at best. Okay. International
Same
break
team,
was fun.
different show.
As stressful as it was overall fun. And I know for a lot of countries and stuff, it was a lot of friendlies. For those of us still battling to make it over here to the States, it was kind of fun. But I really thought, this format is here to stay because there was ridiculous amount of drama both weeks because we would watch the games and then you and I were kind of like watching whatever was going on kind of live because at the time we were trying to see like who Turkey is going to play against and stuff like that. But it's probably the most excitement. I know we get a lot of it in Champions League, but something about it that made it a lot more exciting for that. I know if it's like the finality or what, but
Yeah, I think we had a lot of good games, a lot of excitement, and a lot of last minute things. The penalties, Italy staying out again.
yeah.
That is something, isn't it? Is the third time now?
Yes, very Turkish, if you will.
Very Turkish,
Being out of the
exactly.
World Cup several times in a
And
row.
I mean the joy that you see, sort of, the Champions League, club football is like more professional now, and the same guys are winning all the time. So for a change, we are seeing, well, some of the same people but with different jerseys, really having a joyful evening there. For example, Kosovo, who we played against, they had a brilliant game in Slovakia.
Yes.
That was a good game. Um, Sort of the Danish game was really good. Uh, if you saw that one,
I
um,
missed that one. I think that's
yeah,
one that I missed. I did watch. I went back and watched like the penalties of some of these games that,
yeah,
that I missed and stuff. But the overall drama, that whole like Bosnia thing, and that's what I'm amazed. Like it's interesting you brought that up because I was talking about this. With Liverpool's miserable game against City, we were kind of talking about that on the Monday morning show with the Polish Prince on American Scouser. He's from Poland. He had a miserable international break, obviously losing to
yeah,
Sweden and stuff. But there is something, I don't know, as fans, when you win or lose, you kind of want to be able to connect with the player on the pitch, right?
yeah,
So when we lose and you are devastated as a fan for because of the finale, maybe because it was like I say, the finale, maybe like you don't probably get that depressed if lose like match week 13's game or something like that, but like almost like losing a final or like a quarterfinal, semifinal, whatever, like you see at the same time ridiculous joy on one side and total like despair and devastation and sadness on the other side. And in a weird kind of way, I really, really enjoy that because it shows that they really care about this more. You rarely see that in like maybe like a Champions League final or something like that,
yeah,
where club players actually show emotion. Like this show that this really means something to them, whereas the other ones are like, it'd be nice if we won. And it's probably like simplifying it, oversimplifying it, but it's just like seeing that emotion was. You look at Bosnia, for example, it's almost like you can't help yourself be happy for him because you're like, and not to mention, I looked afterwards, they're going to the World Cup in a relatively easy group as well because
yeah,
Canada is the one that's like headlining their group and stuff.
yeah. I think the motivation part is a bit different. Uh, it's not business as usual, but you are getting a lot of um, combined support from different club fans in the country. if you're playing for Spain, for example, or if you're playing for Kosovo, all the players, most of the players are playing outside of Bosnia,
Yeah,
and you get that feeling of togetherness, I think, and the nation, that sort of thing. It's more patriotic, whatever. So you don't know the locker room speeches and how
yeah.
that, you have your flag on you. Yeah, it should be a different sentiment, I think. That's the thing, and it is a joy to watch. Well, it is a joy to watch Italy lose in any case. So yeah, that was a
Yeah,
happy.
you were really rooting hard against Italy. I mean, any of the Italian fans or anybody who has what
Yeah,
Italian
I don't
heritage is
I
not
don't
going to be
like
happy
their
to hear that.
football.
But I really
Nothing
like
to do with
those
the
when I was
Italians, but
watching. I really was not rooting for. I was rooting more for drama. But as you watch, yeah, I think I was rooting for Bosnia just because I mean, I guess you could say Italy hasn't been there in a while too. But like how often does Bosnia qualify? You could kind of see like the fans and stuff like that, and you always want to root for the underdog. But I just enjoyed like I say, finality is a big part of it. The fact that it's a World Cup, I think, is a big part of it because obviously it happens every 4 years, blah blah blah. And a lot
yeah,
of these guys, as kids, grew up dreaming of this. They didn't maybe dream of, winning a Premier League match, but they probably did, dream of wearing like the national team and, like in the World Cup and all that kind of stuff. But I felt at least, and I think this is probably, we got to get people from like different countries to kind of weigh in on this. But with the game being a lot more global, growing up, it was like Turkish players were all in Turkey. So there was a lot more clubification, if you will, of the
yeah,
national team. Remember, there's 6 guys from Fenerbahce, so there must be 6 guys from here. Even if they didn't deserve it, it went by numbers, it felt like. And you had a bigger feeling of he's one of our guys. I mean, we even said it, like we considered Ferdi, Arda, these guys ultimately Fenerbahce players because they came from Fenerbahce. But because they play all over the place, when I watch them now, I get a less sense of, I feel like a more sense of a unity, I guess, and they're playing for the jersey as opposed to, I mean, it's one thing to, have to root for a Galatasaray guy and it's like makes you have to take a shower afterwards. But I felt like there is less
exactly.
clubification of it where you can kind of see that they're in for a cause. And even within them, there is no, oh, you play for this, you play for that. It's just like they're there for the national team. Whereas in the past, I don't know, 15 years ago, it didn't feel like that.
No, I think, well, because it's Turkey. I think the climate has changed a lot. Uh, the Turkish teams, when we were kids, like 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Uh,
Okay, yeah, let's not throw the years out there to really expose
exactly.
our
Well,
age over
in any
here. Just say
case,
when we were
to
kids and we
put that in context, before the year 2000, the last century, it was like,
that's
we were
pretty bad.
hearing
Like last century. God, we're
last century.
old.
It is, isn't it? Not in 20th century. Um, yeah, I do my trainings, and I try to sort of introduce myself, and I say I studied here and did that, and then I realized most of that was in the last century. Really, it was. And yesterday, somebody said 90. I said 1990, to be exact, not 1890, but 1990. No, but what
I think
we
the
were
most
hearing,
depressing thing is probably even more depressing for you. But when you
well,
fill out online forms, I know who the asshole is that starts it at 2025 anyway. It's not like a 1 year old is filling out like an internet form. But that you have
you
to
really have to go
scroll
back.
forever before you get to your year. It gets more and more depressing the more you scroll. Go ahead.
It does actually. No, but we were hearing that, for example, in Italy, a Juve fan would root against Inter,
Yes. Yep.
and we were saying, these Italians are very strange people. I
Not
mean,
very
if your
patriotic.
country is playing, I mean, Galatasaray's UEFA champions, we were sort of rooting for a Turkish team to win something and everything. Now we are even in the even worse place,
Yeah.
really.
I mean, they made you root for Liverpool, so that says it
Evet,
all.
exactly, that says a lot. So yeah, I think the playing field has changed. So yeah, well, there you go. Old
But
mental.
we're back to the league. So until we come to the World Cup over here, which you can't go to the games unless you like, take a second mortgage or something like that. It seems like it's not very doable to go to any of the games. But yeah, like I say, I mean, you're better off just buying like a wall-to-wall TV with the same money and enjoy it the rest of your life as well, instead of like one match. But um,
Yeah.
the league is coming back. Obviously, you guys did not have a game. So what I kind of wanted to do is I have your schedule on here now. Kind of take a look at what you have left rest of the way, and you give us a point total from the 7 games.
So am I to understand that because I am in front, we ditched the other stuff, our picks, upset picks.
Oh no, we're gonna do that at the end. How are you in
Ah,
front,
really?
by the
Okay,
way? Are you in front?
there
When
you
did you
go.
become in front?
I think I am, aren't
I
I?
thought we were tied, but we'll get to
Yeah,
that.
it was
We'll
five
do the
all.
picks at
Okay,
the end.
nice
No, I kind of
to
want to do
remember.
this
Okay,
first for.
just
I
just
figured this is
trying,
the last international break. Thank God.
just
It's nice.
trying. Yeah,
Um,
okay.
so seven
And
games. Here are the games. How many points will you guys get out of these? Starting with Leeds at home. Actually, that's a Monday game. It's quite a long international break for those guys, but
yeah, it is
um, I
exactly.
mean, it's probably better for Leeds because they did play a cup game. Actually, Leeds at least have played, but you guys have not
Leeds
played the
have
cup.
gone through, haven't they? They are in the
Yeah,
semis,
yeah.
as in Liverpool isn't.
Yes,
Okay.
that was like a miserable, miserable game. And I mean, they
Yeah,
play again
yeah.
tomorrow. We'll talk briefly about that because I'm sure it's going to come up obviously on our schedule when we pull up Liverpool, but not
And
very
and
hopeful on that either tomorrow.
we have a
Yeah, tomorrow here.
May 3rd. Okay. Let's see.
Leeds home, Chelsea away, Brentford at home. So just give me points as we go real fast.
16,
United
16
Leeds,
points. I think we have 16 points here.
16 points. So 5 wins and a draw.
And the loss.
Well, obviously, but yeah, I mean, the simple math. But 5 wins and a draw, you're saying. So which ones is the loss and the draw?
I'm looking at Sunderland to lose, to be honest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And the draw?
Draw is Chelsea.
Okay. Which that would work for us actually, because we need Chelsea to drop points, hopefully, if we're gonna go anywhere near
Yeah,
uh
you have to
so let
win
me
at
ask you
United
that because
as well.
I saw a couple of things, and actually we talked about this a lot over here. Obviously, we talk about United and Liverpool a lot, and I was listening to, and I might have sent it to you actually. I can't remember if I did or not, but Keen kind of talk about the whole Carrick ordeal. Did I send this to you? Apparently not,
No,
because you have a big question
no,
mark on your face. But
no, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he basically talks about, and we've said this too, about the interim coach. And he brought a lot of aspects that I felt like I'm like, oh yeah, we didn't even think about that's the admin part of it.
Ah, I I,
We
he- I
talked
heard
about
that one. I
yeah,
heard that one, and I
okay, we
I, I
talked
believe
about
he's
the
right.
on pitch stuff where they're like, you know what do you want to do? You want to run left? Why don't you run left? Like kind of like letting the guys do more of their thing and trying to get the best out of them that way because they're happy what they're doing or whatever it might be. He was also bringing out the fact that, and I thought that was a good point, that it's a whole different ball game when you're dealing with contracts, signing people, letting people go, and your decisions. People in the locker room saying, "Why did he let him go? How come he didn't get re-signed?" and all that kind of stuff is a whole different ball game and changes everything. Aside from being like an interim manager who's just like moving some stuff on the whiteboard and saying like this is what we're doing. I'm sure they're not using an actual whiteboard anymore, but
Not
still.
about whiteboard anymore. No.
Okay. So if they get the 16 points out of the potential 21, that's pretty darn good, and that would probably finish him definitely third, if not
Sure.
second. Right? Depends on what happens on top. Does he stay? It would
Wow.
almost be hard
I
to be
don't think
like,
he
let it
will,
go.
to be honest. Are you asking me should he stay, or are you asking me is he going to stay?
Both.
I don't think he's going to stay, to be honest, because it's United. The
Should he
the
stay
thing
then? That makes it sound like you saying he should stay.
no, the thing he was talking about, the second part of the thing, um, I believe most of his points are right, and the way the managerial position is in the UK or the Premier League. It's it's not a they are making a distinction now at some clubs, aren't they? Head coach
Head
and
coach versus an actual manager that's has
an actual
control
manager.
over the money
So I
part.
think if they want to make him a head coach and take the other burdens off of him, like what Keane is saying. I think I believe all his points are true. Um, and who was the guy next to him? He was just bullshitting. He did this, he could do that, and that sort of thing. This
Was it Redknapp?
this
I can't remember. I can't
yeah,
remember.
well, this is what he's done because there was really no expectation. I mean, I told you we were going to finish like sixth in
Yeah.
the beginning of the season, and you said you're dreaming. Now we are talking about the second place. But if we had the championship at the targets, or even the first three, then the expectation would be, yeah, the first three, yeah, we are third. It's not
True.
much
Yeah.
too big a deal. But Kerry came in with most of the hope lost, which I don't really know why we panicked, apart from the fact that Amorim wanted his Portuguese self out of there, because
Yeah.
he was talking about, because I mean, if you look at the thing, we weren't like 15th and suddenly sort of made the jump.
That
We were
felt
already there.
more like he saw the writing on the wall for the seasons to come.
Yeah, I think so too. So he got out. He bailed out, or he
Yes.
he got out while he was still winning.
It looked like he
I
was
don't
like,
think
yeah,
he did
this is
a
not what we talked about. This is not what I signed up for. Let me get
exactly.
myself fired. Let me pull a Portuguese kind of a deal.
Exactly. That's the Portuguese way. So it's should he stay? I think he needs a good manager doing the dirty work for him, so he can still go in the locker room saying, "You want to play right? Yeah, yeah, you can play right." Uh, and that is up to a point, because knowing United, we are going to see a lot of people coming in, so the locker room will be changed by the time he's taking that over again.
Yeah.
So if they are now working, which I think they are, towards the transfers of the next season, that is a problem, because are they thinking about Carrick in charge and adding players to the squad, or somebody else will come in and who bought these guys, sort of thing.
Yes.
uh, and because of the critical position that we are in, where we are actually going to make Champions League if everything is going okay, and somebody doesn't pull a Mourinho on us. But uh, I think uh, behind the curtains, somebody should be preparing another scenario, because it will be too late with the World Cup year,
True. Yeah.
end of May. That means really like mid July.
Yeah. Which is, when the season pretty much, I mean, they open camp.
Exactly. So, and they can't line up anybody because we are doing well. I mean, if we were eighth or ninth or 14th or whatever,
Yeah.
then they could say, Carrick, you can sort of, take care of it until the end of the season, and we
Turn
are
out the
going to
lights when
bring
you leave.
somebody else. Yeah, you can don't unpack too many things, but I think, looking at things, I don't think, knowing United, he will be staying, but I would prefer him to stay as a head coach, to avoid the messy things that Keane was talking about, which I agree.
Yeah, I think that's the tricky part. And I don't know. I mean, we've always talked about, even when they sucked horribly, there's always going to be like, an appeal that the club has. But if you're comparing two clubs and you got to pick a manager, and I don't know if you have like Pep or somebody here, or, they have a chance to go to Barcelona or something like that, Flick or whoever, and then you have Carrick. I don't know, like, that would sway some players, given, all other things being equal, obviously, not like overpaying in wages or something like that.
Sure.
So, but that, yeah, the fact that it's the World Cup year, I mean, goes for Liverpool as well, makes it really tricky, because there are some guys over there I mean, I know everybody talks about Xavi Alonso for Liverpool. I would much rather, if I had my choice and we were going to replace the manager, I would go for like Nagelsmann, and then he would probably be available after the World Cup. You go get him. Liverpool was interested in him way back in the day, but then again, like you're talking about, they might do a whole different shebang now with Edwards possibly leaving, Hughes possibly leaving, and obviously Slot possibly leaving. So they might say, okay, we're changing it. We're bringing one big guy to kind of like run the whole operation instead of doing this, Slot being the coach, the other guy being the football operations and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of rumors about Hughes going to Saudi Arabia and all that kind of stuff,
Okay.
which
Then it will be a
and
whole
Edwards
different game.
really was brought in under the fact that he was going to run the multi-club operation part of things, which the other club has never materialized yet. They talked to different clubs, but it's never materialized. So he's actually he's running something that doesn't exist in some ways. Like he's overseeing something that doesn't exist. I'm sure he's involved in the negotiations on finding of the clubs and stuff. But let's do Liverpool real quick, which should be quick. Yeah, the PSG games, I didn't want to think about it. I know tomorrow
How,
morning
how
we'll
are
have
you?
the
How are you expecting Liverpool to be tonight?
I'm not expecting much. I mean, it's the hope that kills you. But I'm not
Right.
expecting much. I mean, you would hope that after a game like Saturday and how humiliating that was and how much crap the players got for it. I'm just finding it hard. I just hope this club doesn't become United's, where these players kind of like, kind of throw the manager on the bus knowing he's going to get the heats. But I think a lot of the players for once got the heats. It's
Mm.
always been Slots. He's been kind of like the shield. Everybody has constantly hammered him. Either people are sick of hammering him or based on the performance that the players put in. This is the first time in a long time that I see fans leaving early, supposed like, like acting out with the fans, like so much other stuff. Ekitika swapping a jersey in the middle of the goddamn game. There's so many things that really got on the nerves of the fans. I'm hoping now the players maybe will have a reaction game. So that's really your only hope. Coming back
Yeah.
with something. Anything can happen at Anfield. So you just want to come back with something that you're like, okay, we can build on this kind of a deal.
Yeah.
But hopeful, yes. Realistically, I don't know. PSG is way too good. So, I mean, you look at, but Liverpool has been
No,
good in the Champions
it's a
League.
good game for
Yeah,
um.
there was some
But
good
I
game. I
don't
didn't
know
watch the
Liverpool.
Arsenal game, but the Real Madrid Bayern game, Bayern is like a really good team. But that's the thing with Real is even though they really look like they were the away team hanging out for dear life, but they have the potential to be able to score. So they made it 2-1. So it's the tour is still on. So
Yeah.
against Fulham, the Derby, Palace home, United away, Chelsea home, Villa away, Brentford home. So out of these seven
Very
games,
similar fixtures actually.
yeah, I would go with 4 wins, 2 draws, no, 1 draw and 2 losses here.
13 points.
Yeah, and I think the key is where the wins come from. Like if you are able to beat Chelsea and Villa, which I didn't count Villa as a win, for example. But you gotta have the games that you win have to be the key games. And I
Yeah.
think Chelsea game is one of them because that's a 6-pointer, if you will. Because at this point, all you're hoping is to ultimately be in the top 5 and
Yeah.
like qualify for the Champions League. Looking at that, early look to May 3rd over here, and God knows what will happen by then. Because if obviously by some miracle we eliminate PSG, Liverpool is going to have more games scattered around there for like the next round and stuff. But if you did an early prediction, obviously based on form, you would say United. But as we all know, when it comes to these games, you throw the form out the window.
Yeah.
Same thing
Well,
for
you
the
don't.
Everton game.
Yeah, exactly. But first in a few seasons now, uh, if things stay the way they are, United will go as favorites.
Oh, yeah. The last time they went as favorites, honestly, is when we beat you guys 7-0.
Were they? We weren't
They were
favorites at
favorites
all.
that yeah, because we were not doing so hot. That's not a year
Oh,
that
okay.
we were doing well. I think
Mm.
that was the last time. Maybe that was last time they were favored at Anfield. Let's put it that way,
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
was at Anfield. But
Yeah.
yeah, you might be right. That's the first time in a long time over here. So we're gonna have to do the point total here. because I think you're making this shit up. I thought we were tied, but
Five
let's
all. That was 5-all last time. I don't think we got any points after that.
yeah, because there were no games. So I
There
mean,
were no
only in your
exactly.
worlds you're getting games when there's no Premier League games over here. But okay, so upset
Okay,
picks.
5-all.
This is how it rolls. We all kick 2 games. It's kind of like basketball and Premier League in one 3-point shots and a free throw. For upsets of the week, take your 3-point shot. West Ham Wolves, Arsenal Bournemouth, Brentford Everton, Burnley. Maybe if I did this, we'd be able to
Yeah,
see a lot
more
more
matches,
anyway.
please. Exactly.
Um,
These are not very promising.
Fulham, Palace, Newcastle, Sunderland, Tottenham. Tottenham is a new manager. Forest, Villa, Chelsea City, United, Leeds. Some good fixtures this weekend, actually.
Vicario, did you see the Vicario joke?
No.
Vicario had a minor operation, so he will be missing the next 2 managers.
Yeah, that is an ultimate. That whole ego. I mean, we said it here because we know him from the Turkish league from behind the back. It made 0 sense. It still doesn't. And
No,
I know, like his dad passed away and stuff. So they almost like made it like a package deal. They're like, this is a good way for you to go. Why don't you go take care of your own business? And we're probably better off without you, kind of thing. It was a horrible, horrible experiment. And they are in real danger. So,
they
which
are actually.
feels
That is a very
really
good
odd to
game.
say. It looked last year when we said it, it was more like tongue in cheek, right? Like it was like, oh, maybe they get relegated, ha ha ha, kind of a thing for you and United. I mean, for Spurs last season when you guys were 15, 16 or something like that. But now it's a very possibility and a
This
possible
is
reality over here. Okay,
yeah,
3-point
that is.
shot, take it.
Tottenham getting something out of Sunderland, is that an upset?
A win would be an upset.
Whoa.
I
Okay.
don't think a draw is an upset. I'm not
This
giving you
this
3 points
this
for
is a
that.
this is a difficult week, to be honest.
It is a difficult week, actually. Yeah.
Okay, West Ham is playing Wolves, and Forest is playing Villa. Villa will be having a European game. Um, so Forest winning, is that an upset?
Not really. They have to win.
Really?
I mean, they have something to play for. Whereas, like you said, Villa is going to play in Europe,
Yeah.
so they're going to be a little bit hungover, I would guess. Yeah, this is a
Newcastle,
tough week to have
Newcastle getting
upsets
something
unless
out
you
of Palace.
go all out.
Okay.
Newcastle beating Palace away, I think, is an upset. I'll give you 3 points for that.
Not a draw, but a win.
Yes.
I'll go with my 3 points to for Tottenham.
For Tottenham winning away at Sunderland.
Tottenham winning, yes.
That's a whole lot of trust on the Zerbi, but sure.
New
I'm gonna
manager.
stick with this.
Now.
Leeds getting something at United on Monday.
Yeah, that would be an upset. Yes.
Leeds getting something out of United. That's my 3-point shot. And 1 point would be Bournemouth getting something out of Arsenal.
I don't think that's happening, to be honest.
6:30 Saturday, anything can happen. Well, 6:30 for us, but early game Saturday. I know Arsenal played today, so they'll have enough rest. But
yeah, with
they're
that
not in the
logic,
best of times in terms of scoring goals. So
okay, with
I'll
that logic, I'm going with Fulham.
You're going with Fulham. Yeah, I mean that's really at this moment. I don't even know if it's an upset, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have something from PSG tonight. I think the minds will be going there, and Fulham is a dangerous team.
Fulham is a good team, and they have players that can like really hurt you on the counter and stuff, and Jimenez and stuff. Yeah, I mean, leave that. I mean, the state that Liverpool is in, it's such a fragile team. I don't think. Did you get to watch the City game?
Saw the goals.
Yeah, so I mean, so that doesn't really tell the story because the first 30 minutes we should probably be up by 1 or 2 goals. They missed some chances, and then we give away the penalty. I still blame Ekitike for getting Gravenberg a yellow card, basically by a bad card. It's kind of like turning around the game in midfield, but they give up the goal. The heads go down right before the end of the half. They concede the second goal, and the second half they pretty much didn't play. I think we could have shown up there, worn kits, and we would just blend in. It was really pretty dismal there.
I think apart from the halftime, I think it was like what 15-20 minutes play for 4 goals either side of the half, isn't it?
What do you mean? I'm
By
sorry.
by
Oh
by
yeah. I know what you mean.
minute 57, it was 4-0 anyway.
To be fair, yeah, I feel like City was like, they lowered the gear. They were like, this one is done. It's not even like, like goal difference makes a difference. So they were like, yeah, they turned the gear down. They were like, yep, that's good. This is done. And then, they like subbed and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, even we didn't put Isak in. I think he was on the bench. I thought maybe he would get 5-10 minutes. I think he goes in if we're chasing the game or something like that. But I mean, they threw in the towel, and I think that's like the hardest part to swallow. That's why we were talking about on the American Scouts or Monday Night podcast yesterday that it's looking eerily like a United team where they down the tools because they know it's the manager that's going to get it, and it's going to be really tricky. Because I've asked you this before, and I know you're kind of having some trouble with some of the players, where it's going to be really hard to root back for these guys when they're suddenly really, really freaking trying. Because where were you? Because you have to have some professional, some ethical responsibility to do your job and give your best regardless of what's going on. I mean, you guys, I mean, you can say it's, I mean, I know we talked about quite a few players where, so now you're playing, but you were not trying last season.
Exactly. No, I agree. But and meanwhile, we signed an extension with Maguire. I hear another season.
That sounds crazy, by the way.
Yeah, it did actually. When I read it, so I think it's like the Evans deal. Like he's not going anywhere.
He's a lot more expensive than Evans, though.
Yeah, I don't know what the extension really cost.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know what wages. I mean, I know they paid the Brazilian, what it was like 80 million or something like that.
Yeah.
When they got him, what was it, Leicester, right?
Leicester,
So I would think at the time he's on pretty decent wages, and he's still gonna be the center back of the national team, I assume, in the World Cup. So and plus the English tax. So I'm sure he's making. But I mean, you almost need him because Martinez is not reliable.
No,
health wise.
I think you are going to bring again like 6 new players there. One of them has to be a center back again.
Probably. I mean, Bruno doesn't like Euro, so he's on. But yeah, it's gonna be a weird summer. But at least Turkey is gonna be in the World Cup, so we will have something to watch over there, and we'll probably do a lot of live watch alongs here. We'll probably have a lot of content over here. Don't forget tomorrow night. Speaking of the World Cup, tune in. The boys will be doing another World Cup. They're doing a different World Cup, I should say, as we approach the big event over here that nobody can afford to go to. So you'll be listening to us live over here, hopefully during the watch alongs and stuff. But that'll be it for us this week. Let's see who gets the upsets right. Same time, same place next week. Have an awesome week, everybody. Take care.